Hi everyone, this is Christy. Welcome back. Today we're going to just flip through the Bible tip-ins for the book of Job. We've been going through these in our daily Bible dopamine emails. If you're not signed up, you can sign up to receive a Bible tip-in every day. We do a different chapter of the Bible every day, and we're currently going through the book of Job. So you'll find the link to BibleDopamine.com in the comments and in the description of the video. So here are the Bible tip-ins. So the one for Job chapter 1 is verse 6. One day the members of the heavenly court came to present themselves before the Lord, and the accuser Satan came with them. And this is the standard one for chapter 1. I also sometimes do what I call double dopamine days, where I put in some bonus images. So there's a couple images. This is the second image for Job chapter 1, and this was from the double dopamine day. So this one is verse 21. Job said, "I came naked from my mother's womb, and I will be naked when I leave. The Lord gave me what I had, and the Lord has taken it away. Praise the name of the Lord." And again, this is a double dopamine one, a bonus image for Job 2, verse 7. So Satan left the Lord's presence, and he struck Job with terrible boils from head to foot. And then this is the standard one that went out for Job chapter 2, verse 10. But Job replied, "You talk like a foolish woman. Should we accept only good things from the hand of God and never anything bad?" So in all this, Job said nothing wrong. Job 3:25. What I always feared has happened to me. What I dreaded has come true. Job 4:17. Tip this up a little bit. Job 4:17. Can a mortal be innocent before God? Can anyone be pure before the Creator? And Job 5:17 and 18. But consider the joy of those corrected by God. Do not despise the discipline of the Almighty when you sin, for though he wounds, he also bandages. He strikes, but his hands also heal. Okay, and Job 6:10. At least I can take comfort in this. Despite the pain, I have not denied the words of the Holy One. Job 7:7. O God, remember that my life is but a breath, and I will never again feel happiness. Job 8:21. Bring that down a tad. He will once again fill your mouth with laughter and your lips with shouts of joy. Job 9:4. For God is so wise and so mighty, who has ever challenged him successfully? Job 10:12. You gave me life and showed me your unfailing love. My life was preserved by your care. And again, the back of these, they're just printed on normal copy paper. So the back of these are nice places that to give you to write notes. If you have a Bible like this one, there's no margins for taking notes. So it adds some writing space for you. What is this? Job 11:13. If only you would prepare your heart and lift up your hands to him in prayer. Job 12:9 verse 9 and 10. For they all know that my disaster has come from the hand of the Lord, for the life of every living thing is in his hand, and the breath of every human being. Job 13:15. God might kill me, but I have no other hope. I am going to argue my case with him. Job 14:1. How frail is humanity, how short is life, how full of trouble. And Job 15:14. Can any mortal be pure? Can anyone born of a woman be just? Job 16:19. Even now my witness is in heaven, my advocate is there on high. Job 17:3. You must defend my innocence, O God, since no one else will stand up for me. Job 18:5. Surely the light of the wicked will be snuffed out, the sparks of their fire will not glow. Job 19:25. But as for me, I know that my Redeemer lives, and he will stand upon the earth at last. Job 20, verse 4 and 5. Don't you realize that from the beginning of time, ever since people were first placed on the earth, the triumph of the wicked has been short-lived, and the joy of the godless has been only temporary? Job 21, verse 7. Why do the wicked prosper, growing old and powerful? Job 22, verses 21 and 22. Submit to God, and you will have peace. Then things will go well for you. Listen to his instructions and store them in your heart. Job 23, verse 14. So he will do to me whatever he has planned. He controls my destiny. Job 24:1. Why doesn't the Almighty bring the wicked to judgment? Why must the godly wait for him in vain? Job 25:2. God is powerful and dreadful. He enforces peace in the heavens. Job 26:3. How you have enlightened my stupidity. What wise advice you have offered. It's a little bit of sarcasm from Job to his friends. Okay, Job 27, verses 3 and 4. As long as I live, while I have breath from God, my lips will speak no evil, and my tongue will speak no lies. Job 28:28. And this is what he says to all humanity. The fear of the Lord is true wisdom. To forsake evil is real understanding. Job 29:4. When I was in my prime, God's friendship was felt in my home. Job 30:26. So I looked for good, but evil came instead. I waited for the light, but darkness fell. Job 31:6. Let God weigh me on the scales of justice, for he knows my integrity. Job 32:8. But there is a spirit within people, the breath of the Almighty within them, that makes them intelligent. Job 33:14. For God speaks again and again, though people do not recognize it. Job 34:14 and 15. If God were to take back his spirit and withdraw his breath, all life would cease and humanity would turn again to dust. Job 35:3. For you also ask, what's in it for me? What's the use of living a righteous life? Job 36:13. For the godless are full of resentment. Even when he punishes them, they refuse to cry out to him for help. Job 37:23. We cannot imagine the power of the Almighty, but even though he is just and righteous, he does not destroy us. Job 38:1. Then the Lord answered Job from the whirlwind. Job 39:26. Is it your wisdom that makes the hawk soar and spread its wings toward the south? Job 40, verse 2. Do you still want to argue with the Almighty? You are God's critic, but do you have the answers? Job 41:11. Who has given me anything that I need to pay back? Everything under heaven is mine. And Job 42, verse 5. I had only heard about you before now, but I have seen I have only heard about you before, but now I have seen you with my own eyes. And that's the end of the book of Job. So again, these are the daily Bible tip-ins. You can sign up to get a daily email with the simple little one-chapter Bible study, and it's just things to highlight in that chapter, and some maybe some notes you might want to jot down in the margin, and then the daily Bible tip-in. So if you want a fun and easy way to study the Bible, and something to look forward to, in terms of having something to add some visuals to your Bible, then the link will be in the description and in the pinned comment. So BibleDopamine.com is where you can catch up on ones you've missed and also sign up for the ones that are coming out in the future. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.